Hello, everyone. This is Tom, your host for the Hidden Truths channel. How's everybody doing this evening? Well, I hope everybody's enjoying family and Christmas gatherings. And that's why tonight we're not going to get rough around the edges and talk about politics and stuff. We're going to discuss what's your favorite Christmas movie. I'll start discussing with mine, and you can chat in with yours. And is Die Hard a Christmas movie? The original Die Hard, okay? Yeah, that's a question that nobody can answer because nobody's satisfied with what the other person has to say. But yeah, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Tell you what, I remember seeing that movie in the theater back when I was in the Marine Corps and stuff. Cool movie. But anyway, that's what we're going to do tonight. And then I'll put out a short and a video tomorrow morning on Christmas Eve day. And then I'm not going to put nothing out till the 26th of December. So it's going to take a couple days off. And then next week from tonight, I'm going to have my predictions show, my live stream, what I feel may be coming next year and stuff. Just predictions, right? You ain't got to be right about it. I'm not saying I'm Nostradamus, but that's what we're going to have a week from tonight. So I hope everybody can be there for that. That'll be a good one. Because I think a lot of people have a lot of ideas what next year's going to bring. I mean, just before I came on, all right, gold's 44,550 and climbing, and silver 72 and a half and climbing. Okay. And people may think that the price of gold and silver isn't going to affect them. One reason why everybody's flocking to gold and silver right now is because there's a world war coming. And like I say, if you can afford to spend 45, 46, even $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 for an ounce of gold, and what's silver going to be? 200, 300? You have a little bit more knowing what's going on than I do. By the way, it's getting to this point where even a common man can't even buy an ounce of silver anymore. But hey, let's talk about something happy. Christmas movies. What is your favorite Christmas movie? Chat in and chime in and tell me on the chat. Anyway, I'm going to go back to Jeff. Good. Glad I brought a lot of pistachio precious metals back in the day. I'm telling you, if you bought silver for $15 an ounce, oh my God. And the thing is, it's not stopping. I mean, just imagine it's not stopping. There's nothing. I mean, once silver broke that $50, that was just the time for the precious metals where being an industrial metal wasn't going to keep the price of it down, and it's gone, done, exploded. But yeah, precious metals is going up. You know, when gold goes up $50 in one session, and that's only 2%, that tells you right there. Anyway, let's get back into Christmas movies, okay? I stopped buying at 26. Yeah, but still, you know, it just like I say, gold shows you how bad things are. The price of silver will tell you how disastrous it's going to be. Like I say, when the common man can't even afford real silver, real money anymore, yeah, we're in a world of hurt. By the way, back to the movies. Christmas movies, okay? I like A Christmas Carol, right? There's so many versions of the Christmas Carol that it's unreal. The dollar is weaker in what it means. Yeah, I know. We're all going to suffer. And the thing is, eventually, all prices are going to follow gold. Meaning that, like I say, we're going to hit that psychological point where the people with the money realize that our money's worthless, and then everything's going to go up because everything's going to be priced at See, gold's just going up to where it should be priced at. Everybody says gold's, man, I don't want to talk about, everybody says that precious metals needed to be higher. Everybody says gold should be around $10,000 an ounce. I don't know where the ceiling of this is going to be. But we may be dealing with $500 silver and $10,000 gold. Yeah, can you imagine? Jeff, I'm sure you've seen it. You know, you pull 10 grand out of the bank and you get that nice stack. Boom, $10,000. Using that to buy 1 ounce of gold. And people say this ain't going to affect us. Okay? So silver to gold is supposed to be traditionally, before they started manipulating the markets, was 15 to 1. So if you go to that 15 to 1, that means silver should be $300 an ounce right now. And the thing about it is, 18 months ago, it was 100 to 1 between silver and gold. Now we're down to what? We're getting down to about 60 to 1. See, silver is starting to get priced with gold, so that means, God forbid, if gold were to go to 10,000, well, what would that put silver at? $750 an ounce? Okay, no economy can handle that. I mean, everything's made out of silver these days. I got one question for you. Would you rather have a cell phone in your pocket when times get tough, or the silver that would go in the cell phone so you can sit there and make it through the next day and buy your next meal? Oh, yeah. All this electronics that have silver in them, very little bit, there's going to be a lot of scrapping going on. But, yeah, the gold silver ratio is 15 to 1. Not 100 to 1. Not 75 or 60 or even 50 to 1. It should be 15 to 1. So like I say, silver should be around $300 an ounce. The only thing that's kept it down is it's been an industrial metal. And you know, everybody needs it to build stuff. But now, since that anchor that's been holding it down no longer, it's you know, like I say, where's the ceiling going to be at with precious metals? I don't see no ceiling. All it is, you know, and then you can sit there if you watch it. I've been watching the market of precious metals, and you watch it where the government will come in, and probably a few governments, to back up higher. And while they're using our tax dollars to try to manipulate the price. Okay? Anyway, that's the deal on gold and silver. Yes, Jeff, it's very interesting to watch. Okay? Gold's going to become what it should be, and wait till the stock market, that bubble's popped, and the stock market value becomes at what it should be. Whew. But everybody, I'll be all over the news. Well, let's not mention nothing about gold being over $4,500 an ounce and silver being over $72 an ounce. I mean, do you realize silver went up $4 in the last 12 hours? $4 in the last 12 hours? There's a lot of hurt coming down, people. There's a lot of hurt coming down. But, you know, let's talk about Christmas movies before I lose everything. Okay, Christmas Carol. Version I like of the Christmas Carol the best is the 1938 black and white version. Of course, it's black and white. But I love that version. I mean, a lot of these older movies, when they came out with, you know, before there was 1,000 remakes of it, they're pretty good. Version. You know, the long version's almost an hour and a half, and the short one, they got it cut down to an hour and 9 minutes and stuff. But I love that. I love that movie. You know, very, you know, the Christmas Carol is just a, you know, good story. And what's another good old one? Okay? It's a Wonderful Life. I tell you what, these are movies I watched when I was a kid. Yeah, I didn't mind watching black and white movies because all I had was a black and white TV. Okay, it makes it real easy. But It's a Wonderful Life. I mean, what a story. When you can sit there, a story like that, I was probably 8 years old the first time I saw it. And I loved the movie as an 8-year-old. That was a movie that would draw you in. I really, really, really liked that movie. I mean, I got it on VHS and stuff. And then Grundy, I Am a Little Younger. Well, these are the shows that were on TV. Before, when TV was the way I was a kid, these shows were on all the time. Like The Wizard of Oz was on every year. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer cartoon was on every year. At the same time, Rudolph Red-Nosed Reindeer was always a Wednesday night. Remember, because we had choir practice then. I always whined about wanting to stay home and watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer instead of having to go into choir practice. But How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Charlie Brown. Oh my goodness! Talking about those type of shows, the TV shows growing up, the Christmas. There were a lot of Christmas type cartoons on around the Christmas season that you can go on YouTube and find them. Most of them, but a lot of them you can't. Grinch is funny. Oh yeah, and then when they came out with the Jim Carrey, the Grinch, that was a good one. I took my kids to it and stuff. I enjoyed it. I always wondered how they were going to make that into a movie, and I think they did a good job. But yeah, Frosty the Snowman. That was another one that was on all the time. And like I say, there were other ones that it seemed like they were on for a few years, and then they didn't play anymore, like the Little Drummer Boy, that type of stuff. But oh yeah, Christmas. You remember as a kid, Christmas Eve we'd there was a program at the church, and of course the kids put on the program for the parents and stuff, and we had a pretty nice, not a mega church, nothing like that, but we had a pretty good congregation. And then we go down after the program and go down and to the basement. We get our bag of peanuts with hard candy in and stuff, and an apple and an orange, and then go home and open presents. So we were up all night. One thing I do remember is snow on the ground all the time. Not like the winter we're having this year. Springtime during wintertime. Anyway, but yeah, so we covered A Christmas Carol from 1938. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Really good. And then It's a Wonderful Life. I don't think I got to explain that to people. People remember that movie. But yeah, I want to sit there and put a poll on here. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? But I couldn't figure out how to get a poll on here using my phone. So I believe Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I certainly do. You had to put ho, ho, ho and stuff in there. It had Christmas trees. You've been going to a Christmas party, right? Anyway, what about other ones, good ones like Christmas Vacation? Oh, is that a good one? After they came out with European Vacation, I thought they destroyed the Vacation series, but then Christmas Vacation came out. No, that's a good movie. Eddie always makes it right. But yeah, Christmas Vacation, Crazy Times. I wonder if anybody else got uncle like Uncle Clark, right? What about A Christmas Story? Remember when TBS would you used to play that movie over and over again all through Christmas for 24 hours straight? A Christmas Story. You're gonna shoot your eye out, and then Darren McGavin playing the father and stuff. And that was a crazy movie. Okay, That one had some of these movies. I said, how do they think this stuff up? But yeah, that was, like I say, the way Christmas used to be and the way it's now is different. I mean, now it seems to be more of spending your money. And then all of it's changed too. We didn't have whatever you want to watch at your fingertips. So everybody enjoyed when, the show came out on TV. Everybody sat down and watched it when I was a kid. But now everything you can get year round. It's just different. The thrill we got out of Christmas movies back in the day is a lot different than now. A lot of these kids out, I guess if you're younger, you probably watch some Christmas cartoons or whatever with what they're coming out with, but it's all remakes. I mean, we saw the originals, but now it's all remakes. But not to say they're all bad. But anyway, I do remember that National Lampoon's, yeah, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. If you haven't seen it, it's worth the watch. Yeah, it's from the 1980s, so you younger folk, it's worth the watch, okay? Oh, if you don't think the 80 movies are good, hey, Jeff, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you, too. I appreciate it. Anyway, if the movies from the 80s weren't no good, then how come that's the only thing Hollywood remakes these days? So, but what's Merry Christmas? Oh, we're talking about your favorite movies. Like I say, let me hear what's your favorite movie, Jeff? What's your favorite movie, Samuel? Or was something you liked as a kid or something as an adult you really enjoy? Oh, what about The Elf? That was kind of off the wall humor type. Alone. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That was when movies were good, when you didn't have to be politically correct about everything, when you were allowed to make a joke about something. I mean, yeah, Home Alone. I mean, look at Home Alone was such a kick that they used the scene from it with the aftershave and grumpy old men. That's another thing. Is Grumpy Old Man a Christmas movie? No, not really. More like Die Hard is, though. I'm never ever going to say that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Like I say, they sat there, he went to a Christmas party, and they had ho, 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 and Santa Claus, and Christmas trees, and all that stuff. Okay? That was a Christmas movie. A good man's Christmas movie. I definitely remember Bad Santa. I never saw that. Oh, what about the Santa Claus with Tim Allen? There's another classic. Tim Allen was very good. I like his acting. But there's another one. Santa Claus. See, the original. And then they always got to sit there and make these, sequels that suck. Anyway, so, yeah. But yeah, tomorrow tonight I'm going to watch Christmas Vacation. And then tomorrow I'm going to watch It's a Wonderful Life. Say it's just a movie with a good story. Every family man should see that movie, especially if you're feeling down and you're not making a difference in life. That's a good one to watch. But anyway, thanks. My favorite Christmas vacation. I tell you, they even had a commercial with that movie with a recent commercial with Chevy Chase. He's older, obviously, but where he's lighting the house. It's trying to get to light up. I saw that commercial. See all that stuff. And then the saucer scene where he slides down the hill. Tell you what. Anyway, good humor. Good humor. What's another one? The one with Bill Murray, Scrooged. Remember that one from the 80s? Scrooged with oh, the one actor that anyway, it just that was a good movie too. You know, the good adaptation of A Christmas Carol was Scrooge. The 80s had great movies, yeah, I know. The movies were awesome back then. You know, because people were allowed to be funny. You know, people that they acted in not green screen and stuff like that. I don't know, it was just different back then. That's why stuff from the 80s is so popular still. The music, I mean, you look, watch radio show, listen to radio shows I do, and almost every station has some form of 70s, 80s, or 90s radio show, right? I don't ever remember growing up in the 80s and 70s listening to radio shows that went over music from the 30s and 40s. I don't ever remember that. But yeah, you know, things were awesome back then. I mean, I couldn't imagine being a kid these days going out on Friday and Saturday night and your parents can track where you go, what you do on your phone, and who you're with. No, because we were kids back then too. It's not like we were angels, but you know, we at least had a little common sense. By the way, not politically correct. No, things were funny, but if you can't laugh at yourself for your own faults that you have, especially if you know you have them, you know, stereotyping black people with fried chicken and watermelon. It's funny. I mean, I'm Irish and German. Where should we start? Especially with the Irish side. I mean, look what blonde women go through. My first wife was blonde. She knew every blonde joke, and she laughed at every one because she wasn't insecure about it. I mean, you gotta laugh at yourself. You know, my youngest daughter's blonde, and when she does something silly, I say, oh, you're having a blonde moment, huh? And we laugh about it. Anyway, that's one reason I think I really want to do comedy on YouTube, because I want to push the envelope. I want to push the envelope so people laugh and they think, not be all aggressive and rough around the edges and stuff. You know, like the song I put out, Grandma Ran Over a Liberal Reindeer. You know, if I can sit there and make that song up, I can start making 2 or 3 minute skits up. Make people laugh, make people think, you know. But that's just, you know, yeah, the 80s was an awesome time to grow up. Awesome. You know, we thought our technology was the tops back then. Heck, it wasn't even close, is it? I remember that video. I liked it. But yeah, Christmas time was it was a slower time too. We didn't have Black Friday when I was growing up. I mean, when I was growing up, what you saw on Black Friday in the late 90s and early 2000s, if that would have been going on in the 70s and 80s, somebody probably would have put an end to that. That would have not been acceptable behavior. I do remember the Cabbage Patch doll fiasco, though. That was probably in the late 70s, so what am I talking about, huh? And I do remember the Cabbage Patch dolls. Oh, my God. It was a bad time. Parents want their kids to have a Cabbage Patch doll. Got to go. Well, thank you for being here, Samuel Entertainment. Like I say, please check out the rest of my content. Like and see what you like. Share it. Like I say, it's political. But like I believe both sides need to be protected from the enemy in this country. Anyway, but yeah, crazy times. So I can't wait to get off of here and see what gold and silver is doing. You know, people think it's only traded when the U.S. market's going. No, it's going all 24 hours as markets all over the world are opening and closing. Times are going to get rough, people. That's why enjoy your holidays. You know, you're older like me, go into nostalgic mode and I don't know. Like I say, I got to spend Christmas by myself this year. My kids are in Minnesota. They're getting winter up there. I'm getting spring down here. So anyway, but you know, I'm going to go and think back. Anyway, you know, the older you get, believe me, you younger people, I'm not even old yet. I'm only 58. But the older you get, enjoy the time you have when you're young. Experience as much life as you can through your whole life. So not only Christmas is great memories, but any time. You know, cherish the time you're growing up in. Because even one day, when things get all crazy, you'll be sounding like this old man too. Just found your channel. Who is the enemy? The federal government, sir. The people who tell you that you need to hate your neighbor. The people that take your money, spend it on stuff you don't want, and do everything in their power that will accept to infringe on our constitutional rights. Those people. That's who the enemy is. You know, it's not you or me. Like I say, it don't really matter if you're Democrat or Republican. I mean, who isn't getting messed with? You mean that neighbor you hate because they're a Democrat or they're a Republican or independent or whatever? Tell me what kind of bullshit that he don't deal with every day that you don't deal with. We need our country back. Okay, I got lots of content on that. I don't want to go into make a political stance on this. I want to talk about happy Christmas movies, but I got lots of content. Got well over 1,500 videos, and you'll see why YouTube, social media in general, doesn't like spreading my content, because I want to bring people together, especially during these times. Remember that we all belong to the human race, and Christ was born for all of us, not just a specific group or color or nationality, for all humans. I know my coworkers have different political views than I do, but we get along. Yeah. But see, Jeff, you're a working man. You do masonry. Just like me, I never had a problem when we're all getting fucking dirty, all dealing with the elements and shit, no matter what your skin color is, what your nationality is, or where you come from, you're still sweating like the other guy. And then, God, you can even, after work, go to the bar and shoot games of pool and have good time together. But everybody in the mainstream would have you think that we all hate each other because of the color we are, because of what religion you are. Okay? And all I got to say to Dearborn, Michigan, Constitution states we have no national religion. Okay? Maybe that's something the Muslims need to realize when they're taking over that part of Michigan. But yeah, you know what would be nice on Christmas? On Thursday, you know what would be nice? If we could have 24 hours without anybody having to die in vain all over the world. That means the U.S. isn't allowed to kill anybody for 24 hours. Not allowed to blow up a drug boat. Not allowed to seize anything. Not allowed to cause anybody any pain. Anywhere in the world. That means a terrorist has to sit there and be nice to his neighbor too. Instead of killing your neighbor today, go help him across the street. Boy, imagine if I could get that as my Christmas present. Could sit there and mark off one day in the world without nobody dying in vain. One day. But we're superior, right? We can't even have one day living in peace. One day for all humans to live in peace. That's what I want for a Christmas present. I wonder if I'll get it. Anyway, that's why we got to talk about Christmas movies. Don't want to have a political drawn live stream tonight, but it's getting pulled that way because you know why? Everybody's stressed out and upset. People see the writing on the wall. You say gold and silver is going up crazy. You got people that are saying, "Oh, it's not going to affect you." I remember when they said gold would hit 2,500, our economy would just collapse. See, like I say, I know eventually the credit markets are going to freeze up because they're going to realize that money isn't worth anything, and they're going to want to get paid in something else besides green pieces of paper. Okay, and then it's going to affect everybody. Credit markets dry up. Trucking companies don't have money to put diesel in their trucks. Companies don't have people. Everybody lives on credit. I don't, I'm debt free. But most everybody in companies, including our government, live on credit. What do you think's going to happen when the credit markets freeze up? What do you think the credit market's going to happen to the credit markets when these people that put their assets into it realize they're going to get paid back with something that's worthless? Anyway. So, but like, hey Jeff, I want to tell you, next a week from today, I'm going to have my prediction show, live stream prediction show. So if you want to write down some of your predictions and stuff, we'll probably go a couple hours that night. But yeah, what you see in store for our country and the world, you know, which country is the U.S. going to sit there and go into? We're here to help. We just got to drop a few bombs first. Yeah. But crazy time. Okay, back to the Christmas movies. Anyway, yep, Christmas Vacation. That's a topper. Home Alone, absolutely. The Santa Claus, you know. What'd you have? He had Home Alone 2, and then Jack Frost. That was with Martin Short was in that one. I mean, just a lot of them. A lot of entertaining movies. I haven't seen a new movie in so long since my kids were little. I haven't seen a new movie, and I have a hard time sitting through. I can't sit through. You know, people sit there and try to get me to sit through one of those newer things, and I guess I'm just not smart enough to follow the plot line anymore. But anyway, I'm sure they'll come up with a Christmas Vacation too, another one or whatever. Surprised they haven't started that series up again. But anyway, but still, the older ones, the black and white ones, there's something about them. You know, I saw when they were colorizing black and white ones, I saw the colorized version of It's a Wonderful Life, and it just took something away from it. I mean, I didn't. It just took something away from the movie instead of being in black and white. But you know, back then, movies used to tell a story too. You know, look at It's a Wonderful Life. You had Mr. Potter basically acting like our government does now. People freak out and go to the government for help, and the government gets everything, their freedom, for pennies on the dollar. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with. Anyway, tell you what, I appreciate everybody being here. If you like the content, please hit the thumbs up, the subscribe, and the bell notification. Anything to help the channel out. I do got a super chat up there if you want to hit that and support a little bit more. So, you know. But anyway, I do, going back to the Die Hard movies, okay? Bruce Willis said that Die Hard wasn't a Christmas movie. Nah, it even came out at Christmas time. I think it's one of my all-time favorite Christmas movies for that type of Christmas movie. It was cool. It was cool. So, but I do miss the days of going to the movies, going to the big screen. I mean, now I hear they got assigned seatings and stuff. Assigned seatings in a movie theater? Are you kidding me? What, do you got to pay extra for the best seats? Anyway, no, won't go to them. But hopefully one day, the old drive-ins will come back. Wouldn't that be nice? I doubt that. I don't think you could get the younger generation, maybe a few of them, sit in my car and watch a movie? Are you crazy? Not knowing the fun at all that you had at drive-in theaters, right? Anyway, nostalgic times. So, but I want everybody to enjoy the holidays. Like I say, tomorrow, I'm going to put a short out and I'm going to put a video out. And then I'm going to take a couple days off and I won't be back on until Friday morning. Drive-in theater, good for a date. Yeah. Well, it was a good time. We had a lot of funds before cell phones and computers, personal computers, okay? We used to have a lot of fun. I mean, just if you don't think we did, look how much time people spend on their computers and phones, okay? Now, think to us when we didn't have that and we still were entertaining ourselves, okay? And not doing bad shit, but just stuff these days kids would never do. And, there's probably a law against it anyway. Like I say, we grew up with lead-based paint. We grew up not having to be in a car seat or wear a seatbelt. Boy, how did we ever make it? Anyway. Times were great, like I say, growing up as a kid and watching all those Christmas cartoons that they had on at nights and stuff. And yep, that's what we're missing in today's world. The true spirit. Now, I'm not saying we even had the true spirit of Christmas, but Christmas, don't forget Christ during the season of Christmas. And that's one thing, we knew Santa Claus and stuff, but still as kids, we knew it was about Christ. So, and that's what we're losing now. Everything's about spending as much money as you can at the stores. We got to make sure the stores survive the next year. They need a good Christmas sales. Is that what Christmas has come down to? So big box stores can make a profit? Anyway, say I want to go back. And plus the toys that we had back then, heck, you could give them to your grandkids today. And they'd still be just fine. Weebles wobble, but they won't fall down. Okay? That type of stuff. But nowadays, kids play with the toys for a few hours and they fall apart. And they're, stuffing pieces in their mouth and stuff. We had a lot of small parts in our toys too growing up, but I don't ever remember sticking any of them in my mouth. Anyway, but yeah, Christmas of the past. But I'm going to watch a few movies tomorrow, enjoy tomorrow night and into Sunday, and enjoy some of the movies of the past, Christmases of the past. Sure, it'd be nice if the snow would fall, but it's supposed to be in the 70s tomorrow. I can't believe this. This is nuts. I mean, my grass is starting to grow. in Christmas time. Yep. Santa's going to have to come knocking on my door asking if he can borrow Beauty so he can deliver presents. Because sleigh won't work. Probably get her to fly anyway. Well, whatever. I'll let him use her. Anyway, gotta laugh, right? Wouldn't that be a movie? No snow, so Christmas has to go to a rancher and borrow one of his horses so I can deliver presents, turning that horse into Pegasus for one night. Anyway, hey, there's a new idea. Instead of doing all the old remakes, there's a new idea for somebody. Dress it up a little bit, make it interesting. Anyway, Cowboy Santa. Maybe if Lone Wolf Productions actually becomes a thing, maybe that'll be the first movie, my first Christmas movie. What do you think? Anyway, appreciate everybody being here. You sit down and enjoy your favorite Christmas movie this season. Maybe watch it twice. You know, like I said, A Christmas Story used to play 24 hours straight on TBS back in the day, nonstop. Interesting, right? Had some Christmas cheer there. Anyway, everybody have a great night and have a great Christmas. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe. And enjoy your family. Christmas Story over and over. Good times. Yep. Good times. I want the future Christmases. Instead of always looking back at the old ones to get the enjoyment out of them, the nostalgic out of them, I want to look at the future ones, okay? Anyway, it would be nice. But the first thing we got to get is commercialization out of Christmas and put Christ back in it. That's my opinion, people. But it makes Christmas more fulfilling. Okay? So don't forget the Christ in Christmas. That's all I got for tonight. This is Time with Hidden Truth. Appreciate everybody being here. Say if you like the content, please hit that thumbs up, the subscribe, and the bell notification. And there is a super chat button at the top, or super thanks, if you like. So anyway, appreciate y'all being here. This is Time with Hidden Truths. I'm out of here.